The Flash and Superman have been amazing superheroes in their own right. Where one can access time travel through lightning speeds, the other can do just about anything with superhuman strength, laser eyes, and curly hair. The question is though, what if both of these superheroes were pitted against each other by Brainiac perhaps? Flash only has his speed and Superman has, well, quite a lot. The answer's recently been revealed and we're here to dig in. Starting off, Flash's top speed is lethal for our boy Wonder. While Superman is one of the most powerful characters in the DC universe, strengthened to godlike levels by the sun's rays, the Flash's physics-defying powers are capable of killing him simply by hitting him so hard that even his invulnerability isn't enough to rescue him. Superman is one of the most powerful combatants in the DC universe for a variety of reasons, including his incredible strength, super speed, flight, and heat vision. Even if someone manages to get past all of that and land a hit, Superman has near invulnerability, which means that almost any strike will bounce off like nothing. However, it turns out that if Flash so desired, he could strike Clark Kent down as if he had no powers at all. Next, Deceased is the comic in which this takes place. Darkseid has unwittingly unleashed a terrifying zombie virus in Tom Taylor and Trevor Hairston's Deceased number 5. The entire planet, as well as the vast majority of heroes and villains, have been transformed into ravenous zombies. Superman manages to be one of the few beacons of hope thanks to his invulnerable skin, but it turns out this does not protect him from everything. When a zombified Flash flies across the world infecting humans, Superman regrettably travels in the other direction, slamming into the Scarlet Speedster to eliminate him. Unfortunately, while Flash is destroyed, a couple of his fingers puncture Superman's flesh during the battle, infecting the Man of Steel. However, the scene demonstrates that Flash doesn't require a zombie virus to murder Superman. Moving on, the Flash is fast enough to land a killing blow provided he can make contact with Superman. Flash's skin and bones are the same consistency as they were when he was alive, therefore the fact that his fingers can puncture Superman's skin demonstrates that at his top speed, Flash has enough momentum to hit harder than Clark's skin can withstand. And if flesh and bone aren't enough to tear the Man of Steel's skin at this pace, then a real cutting tool like a knife or sword would be a game changer. Indeed, this scene demonstrates that Superman is more vulnerable to Flash at full speed than two ordinary humans are to each other without it. Deceased demonstrates that a full-speed Flash can apply enough sheer power to defeat even Superman's renowned invulnerability. Perhaps in all realms where the Man of Steel goes bad, it should be the Scarlet Speedster rather than Batman who takes on the duty of stopping him. Further, Deceased is even bigger than Dark Crisis. With Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, the DC Comics universe is now confronting an incredible amount of darkness, but an even greater evil is happening in the pages of Deceased, War of the Undead Gods. The heroes of the DC universe are now battling a slew of perils, including Pariah in the Great Darkness in the mainstream universe's Dark Crisis storyline. Deceased takes place in a reality where Darkseid has unintentionally released a corrupted version of the anti-life equation, which transforms anybody afflicted into a zombie known as the anti-living. Because Dark Crisis is a significant crisis event, readers would believe that the threat presented there is the greater one, but thanks to a disclosure from Ares, it appears the Deceased reality is facing a far deeper crisis. The heroes of the DC universe have been involved in a life or death battle against Pariah and the Great Darkness during Dark Crisis on Infinity Earths by Joshua Williamson and Daniel Sampere. From Darkseid to Deathstroke, the Great Darkness has managed to take over practically every major character in the DC universe. The Great Darkness has enslaved nearly every significant villain, making it appear to be a really invincible foe. Additionally, the heroes are up against a Greek god in Deceased. The surviving heroes from the previous two volumes believe they knew what they were up against in this third edition of the trilogy. Deceased, they thought, were battling a corrupted form of the anti-life equation, but Ares reveals they are up against something far more sinister. The heroes discover that they are facing Erebos, the Greek embodiment of gloom and shadow and chaos's son. Erebos is a primordial deity, which means he predates Darkseid and pretty much everything else. This discovery demonstrates that the menace the heroes confront in Deceased is just as dark as the threat they face in Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. In fact, Erebos has either surpassed or beyond all the Great Darkness has accomplished. Darkseid, Deathstroke, Neron, Doomsday, and a slew of other characters have succumbed to the Great Darkness. However, in Deceased, Erebos has taken over the minds of Superman, Wonder Woman, Darkseid, Highfather, and others. While the Justice League was supposed to have been murdered by the Great Darkness, it turns out they are still alive and well, but incarcerated in various universes. Erebos, on the other hand, succeeded to murder Batman, Barry Allen, and Wonder Woman, which is scary. Now, the Flash versus Superman, who would win in a fight? Have you ever imagined a fight between the Flash and Superman? They're both two of the most powerful heroes in the DC world, so it's safe to say it'll be a tight call. Both heroes have incredible talents, outfits, and intellects, which contribute to the expanding list of reasons why they are so strong. Prepare for a geeky comparison of these two DC Comics world's superpowered juggernauts. Firstly, speed thrills. Both heroes have the ability to move at breakneck rates, but which is the fastest? The Flash has arrived by a wide margin. Superman can't even come close to matching the Flash's incredible speeds. Consider this to put things into perspective. The Flash once saved 500,000 people from a nuclear catastrophe by lifting them up and transporting them to a safe area in 0.1 microseconds. To do this, he traveled at 13 trillion times the speed of light. Oh, and there was that time he achieved trans-time velocity to beat an alien's teleporter. But it's not just the Flash's physique that can travel at breakneck speeds. He can think at the speed of light too. He has the ability to see events that last shorter than an attosecond. This lightning-quick superhero can perform hundreds of computations in a millisecond. Superman can sprint and think quickly, but he can't match the Flash's maximum speed. Superman has never beaten the Flash in any race, yet these two heroes have drawn twice in the entire history of DC Comics. Next up, superhuman abilities. Both of the characters we've compared have amazing powers that they use to gain an advantage in battle. Superman's many abilities include flying, super strength, heat vision, icy breath, X-ray vision, and much more. This range of talents helps him to be more inventive in his strategies. The Flash's super speed may also be a one-dimensional attack, but there's a lot more to it. There are several things he can accomplish with his quickness. Barry has already thrown lightning bolts, phased through materials, and most surprisingly, time-traveled. Performing time travel and attaining maximum speeds are made possible by the Flash tapping on a secret source of energy dubbed the Speed Force. When it comes to a variety of assaults he can pull off with his incredible speed, he is far from lacking. So, who has the upper hand in terms of ability? We're betting on the Flash. His superhuman speed provides him with an astounding advantage in outwitting and outrunning Superman. And of course, costumes. Superman and the Flash have equally legendary outfits, but how effective are they in assisting our heroes when they're out rescuing the world? Superman's suit has gone through several variations throughout the years. The same red and blue color scheme and the famous Kryptonian symbol for hope are frequently retained. Most recent Superman comic book runs claim that this suit comprises a Kryptonian material that is as indestructible as Superman. Superman's suit in the new 52 series is comprised of Kryptonian nanotech that assembles itself from the chest plate and molds outward over his body. The appearance and functionality of the Flash outfits have also altered significantly throughout time. Jay Garrick wore the original outfit, which was artistically influenced by the Greek god Hermes. It contained the boots with wings and the silver helmet he'd wield as a weapon. The Flash's attire in the 52nd season is sleeker and more contemporary. The complete garment is made of a one-of-a-kind metal that emerges from his ring and expands in molds around him. The lightning bolts on his cowl serve as radio receivers, allowing Barry to receive important information while fighting. The Flash's outfit is also built to endure dangerously high levels of friction, which would otherwise damage him if he wasn't wearing it. Barry will always have the upper hand on his opponents when he needs it the most, thanks to critical information sent to him from his colleagues at Star Labs. Finally, both superheroes' weaknesses. Both of our protagonists have rather apparent flaws that have been used in previous comics, films, and TV episodes. It's only a matter of catching them off guard when it comes to exploiting these flaws. Kryptonite and a lack of exposure to the light are Superman's two greatest vulnerabilities. Because his body can no longer repair after being exposed to kryptonite, the caped superhero cannot employ his powers. Superman likewise relies on the sun to renew his power cells daily. So if Superman is forced to live in a world without sunlight, his energy levels will drop, making him helpless. The Flash's vulnerability may surprise you. He's vulnerable to most assaults. He bleeds, bruises, and fractures exactly like everyone else when they're hit by a powerful force, yet this seldom happens because people find it difficult to strike him in the first place. The Flash, on the other hand, has been known to repel telepathic attacks simply because he thinks too quickly. If a foe like Superman manages to strike even one hit on the Flash, it may be game over for the Speedster in red. We think this one is a tie, but speaking holistically, the Speedster is the one who's coming out on top. That's a wrap for this video. Do you agree the Flash would beat Superman? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you in the next one.